The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good. How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning. I'm Nico Haan. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
Because we're going to recover our natural health, our rights, and our freedoms. I'm Paige Clarke.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful morning here in downtown Clearwater, 55 degrees, going up into the 70s, and we're going to have 70s for the next few weeks. Maybe it's spring.
Spring has sprung.
Yeah, that's kind of nice, early for us, but
Absolutely.
I love it.
No complaints here.
No, definitely not. And if you have any questions or any suggestions for the show, please let us know. You can reach me at nico@tfnn.com.
And you can reach me, Paige, at tfnn.com.
And we're taking your phone calls at 877-927-6648. Want to make an announcement here that Living a Primal Lifestyle with Paige Clarke and Nico Haan is going on to 1250 AM WHNZ, local station here in the Tampa Bay area. It says here, during the month of March, we're trying out a new show on 1250 WHNZ called Living a Primal Lifestyle. It's Sunday morning at 5 a.m., hosted by Paige Clarke, who's a holistic practitioner, and Nico Haan, an athlete and personal trainer. They're advocates for the primal diet, which is closely related to the paleo diet. Find out more on this link, and they have so this is on the WHNZ website, so that's kind of cool.
So any of you early birds getting up Sunday morning, tune in.
Yeah, so
give them a call and tell them you like our show.
Yeah, do that, definitely. And I'm going to be learning. And we're not leaving, of course, our wonderful station
they're
here.
just picking up our show.
They're just picking up our show and throwing on their own commercials, I would assume, and that's the way it's going to work. And we hope it's success because
sure, it'll help us reach some more local people. I think.
I think so too.
Yeah. You know, speaking of reaching people about important information, we had this article about staying away from dangerous vitamins.
Yes.
This was something Dr. Axe put in, and the danger of vitamins. And they quite frankly, this article, they put a label of Centrum.
Yes.
And what I really want people to be aware is, I've been talking about this for a long time.
Yes.
That's why I use whole food-based, excipient-free nutritional products or foods for people to add to their lifestyle so they can have a health style.
Yeah.
And, Americans have been taking multivitamins and multiminerals since the early 1940s when they first became available. But today, as people are searching for ways to boost their health and their immunity through supplements, it's really critical, folks, that you make good choices on the products that you're using.
Yeah.
And one of the most popular ways that people try to do it is they get these multivitamins.
From the drugstore, from the local drugstore, yeah.
And they're made with, we call them toxic tag-alongs, excipients, which mean things that are there to help the product flow or last, and what we call coal tar derivatives left over from the petroleum industry, particularly the B vitamins.
Yeah, multivitamins account for 40% of all supplement purchases, which total $5.7 billion out of the nearly $37 billion in supplements. That was in 2014. So there are a lot of people taking this stuff, and Centrum vitamins are the #1 selling multivitamins in the country.
Without any contention, but guess who owns them now?
Pfizer?
Pfizer,
Yeah,
the
Pfizer.
billion-dollar drug company. And, it's the largest pharmaceutical company in the world.
Right.
And it deals mainly in manufacturing chemicals, folks. Is that what we want? Do we want chemical nutrients? I don't think so.
I think we want live, essential nutrients that we want these things that are alive. And they have a nice list in here, and this is the reason that we picked this particular article out, because they have a dangerous list of ingredients. Let me just scroll down here.
So how might your multivitamin be helping or hurting you? Let's start first with some of the dangerous substances using the Centrum top-selling multivitamin, I feel it's worthless. When people come into my office, I suggest if you want to be healthy, you have to get real nutrition.
Yeah.
And you and I have talked on the show about the proof of the human biofield by Fritz Albert Popp, that the body responds to light, because we are light. And these synthetic chemical cocktails do not work.
No, they disrupt everything.
They correctly do.
So the number one thing on the list here is GMO corn starch. You know, corn is the largest crop now, I think, in the United States. In fact, I saw an interesting thing on CNN the other day where they were looking at from satellite images, they were showing what was coming out of the ground as far as toxins and things from growing so much corn. And you could actually see the haze over the United States. Pretty scary
that's scary.
thing.
Well, this is something, GMO cornstarch, people, listen to this. It has numerous negative side effects on the body, folks. And it specifically is damaging to our detoxification organs like the liver and the kidneys, as well as our heart, adrenal glands, and our spleen.
Right.
And hepatorenal toxicity is a concern with GMO foods, meaning that means the liver and the kidney. If these filtering organs can't remove these toxic substances, they suffer.
Yeah, so they're overburdened because these things are so toxic.
And what do we see? A lot of death, liver, kidney failure.
Yeah,
correct?
definitely. Then they have calcium carbonate. While this compound is found in rocks, shells, and even pearls, is sometimes used to increase the calcium level on the body. But why is this not a good idea?
Well, because calcium, if it doesn't have its co-synergist, which most of these cheap vitamins don't, like vitamin K2, to tell the calcium to go into the bones, instead it floats around where? In the arteries. And then we get calcifications of our arteries, of our eyes, we get cataracts, we get joints. So calcium carbonate in the rock farm and so forth, it has been tied to, linked to heart issues and myocardial infarction, heart attacks.
And we talked about trans fats on the last show, and here they have hydrogenated oil in the centrum.
Jeez.
This is nuts.
Are they trying to create some more customers for their pharmaceutical drugs?
That could be, right? Yeah, I mean, that would be the conspiracy way to go, for sure. But imagine this, you're ingesting these oils, they clog the arteries, they cause massive heart and arterial issues, as well as producing cholesterol to bandage, at least they put that in here. The cholesterol is to bandage the artery walls.
And that's what cholesterol is doing. It's repairing damage that's already there, being caused by excess sugars.
But if you're producing the process this way, you're actually adding to the problem.
Sure, absolutely. And how about that food dye, yellow number 6? I don't know, there's numbers 10, 5, 9, 6, whatever.
I grew up with number 2, I think.
This is a toxic food dye, and it is a carcinogen, meaning that it has been studied to cause cancer, and it can lead to allergies and tumors and kidneys in the kidneys and the testes, and even chromosomal damage, folks. So when we see these artificial colors, we need to say, why is that necessary?
Yeah. And then they have the titanium dioxide, which is used in paints and ink and paper.
It's a naturally occurring mineral, but it's found to possibly be carcinogenic to humans.
High irritants. So there's a lot of stuff in here.
We really want to, and then of course the ever-present polyethylene glycol. This compound is often used in the manufacturing of coal-burning plants, rocket fuel. I don't know. Maybe you want rocket fuel in your supplement.
Yeah, and actually they have a children's version of this, and I think we should talk about this after the break, because this is really nuts. So please give us a call, 877-927-6648. This is a good reason to pick up the Primal Edge and start you on the right track, too.
That's right.
So please do that. We'll
See
be
you after
right
the
back.
break.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. And we're talking about this article from Dr. Axe, and we're talking about the Centrum vitamins and other types of vitamins that you may be getting at the drugstore. And it's hard to believe, but it's true that Centrum vitamins for children are even more hazardous. And they have the same ingredients as
and even then some.
And then they add other things, which
For one, they start with the artificial sweetener aspartame.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Aspartame has got serious issues.
Formaldehyde is one.
Yeah, I mean, you're giving your kids a healthy dose of formaldehyde. Does that sound like a good move? I mean, we can start to research that any artificial sweetener, and folks, stevia is not an artificial sweetener. I just want to clarify that. Stevia is a green herb, but, you know, we're talking about the blue packets, the pink packets, and the yellow packets. Stay away, no way.
That's right. Stay away from the sugar and stay away from these artificial ones, too. They cause birth defects. They've been implicated for children in cancer and lupus and ADD and multiple sclerosis and other things, too.
How about food dye number 2, which is blue?
They have a lot
I mean,
more
we
dyes
talk
now.
about them. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, you think about all these little Flintstones and stuff. That could be real scary when you're looking at the different colors. You know, this particular dye, blue, is banned in Norway. It has a large link to brain tumors, aside from the typical menu of learning disorders and general malaise. So, folks, there's no reason to have this in your supposed nutritional supplement for your
Then
children.
they have the supric oxide, which I didn't really know.
It's a copper mineral, Cu being the elemental, you know, designation for copper.
Yeah, and it's actually a hazardous material in Europe, so it doesn't make any sense. It's really bad for your kidneys. There's other things that can happen. There's a lot of side effects to that, too.
And the same thing with zinc oxide. You know, Europe, through Codex, it becomes harder to get nutritional stuff in Europe now.
Yeah.
But some of it is, I think, to a benefit because they are eliminating some things. And again, Europe has a lot better choice of healthy foods.
It seems like it.
Soils and so forth.
Yeah, so zinc oxide, now is this safe to use on your lips? I thought it was always the go-to thing.
No, actually, what we're finding out is that, zinc oxide is what makes this SPF in sunscreens. And we're finding out why most sunscreens are toxic, because it's that microparticle of the zinc.
Okay,
And
good to know.
It's not the form that our body wants to use.
Okay.
And then, of course, we're coming back to sugar in these little children's supplements.
And this is from canes or beets and commonly known as table sugar.
Well, and that's GMO in this country
Yeah.
until proven otherwise.
Well,
usually.
that's true too, and it has over 100 different adverse side effects. One that sits on top of the list is a food source for cancer. We know this, that cancer is fed by sucrose. I mean, that's a scientific fact.
Well, what we know is that when the body is in the metabolic disorder, which is, i.e., cancer,
Right.
or all the other metabolic
there's
diseases.
something growing there that is growing beyond what is normal.
Well, what the body is doing is it's now not producing energy in its normal way. And since that's the case, other microbes are fed. So whereas when you say that, what we want to know is that it's an alternative energy source for cells that are not performing the way they should.
And the normal fuel for cells would be the ketones, sucrose from the ketones,
Well,
sucrose from...
I'm going to argue with you there that we still use glucose. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
we
using
certainly
glucose
do.
as energy for,
But it's
we need
converted
to,
from other things too. In that pure form, like the sugar, it's
In a
just
normal-
overwhelming.
yes, and in a normal cell, it's ATP, which is the energy currency of the cell.
Right.
And in a normal cell that's, performing naturally, we would be getting, maybe 36 units of ATP per mitochondria. And in cells that are experiencing cancer, there's maybe 2. So you have an energy crisis in the body.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's talk about getting vitamins from
Well,
our
there's
real
one
food.
more thing in here, which is lactose, and probably most people don't know this. So if you're lactose intolerant, this is the milk sugar from milk, and that's in there too. So you could possibly have problems with cramping, upset stomach, vomiting, diarrhea, things like nausea, things like
And
that.
why would you, let's think about it, lactose intolerant, what does that really say? Is it the lactose or is it the fact that you no longer have the enzyme to break it down? And
Or
that's
never
why,
had it in
and
some
that's
cases,
part
some
of
people.
what I'm doing in my office is I really believe what's even more important than getting, you can get all the vitamins and minerals and cofactors, Nico, that you want in your body. If you can't utilize them,
That'd be a big problem.
and so that's why enzymes come first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Yes.
makes sense. So where do we get, the first thing we always think of when we talk about vitamins, minerals, all the essential nutrients, the first thing we want is we want our food to have this in it.
We want nutrient-dense food, folks, and I think this is a great time for us to just kind of go over what Nico and I share, teach, and empower people with. Is information about the Primal diet is a diet that says do the first things first. That's what Primal means to me. Primal, primo, number one. Do the important things first, and that should be get real food, get your nutrition from real food. And where do we start? We start with vegetables. We start here and you never leave. I mean, vegetables are loaded with vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. However, what do vegetables also have? The same thing that fruits have, vital enzymes. And by getting enzymes, we are able to do work. Enzymes are what our bodies use to actually do the work,
So we're talking about vegetables, we're not talking about grains, in a sense.
No, right now, let's talk about some of the nutrient-dense vegetables
So
that you could
herbs are
choose.
another thing that are, we always talk that herbs are still wild, which makes them really compact and full of the vitamins, minerals, and those essential nutrients that we always want.
They're kind of the Mighty Mouse of the food world. They're loaded with nutrients, and this also includes essential oils. Essential oils being an even more powerful, concentrated version of herbs.
Yeah, right. And then, of course, we have fruits, which are similar to vegetables. I think we have to be careful here because there's a lot of fruits that are highly toxic, maybe too much sugar in them. So I would stay with the berry type of fruits, pomegranates, grapes, things like that. The small fruits are going to be much more a superfood than if you get a large orange and just, hone down on that.
I like fruits. I just think it's in moderation, and
exactly.
and it's in the whole form.
Yes.
If you're drinking a 16-ounce glass of orange juice,
Any
First-
juice, really.
well, yeah, but let's just use orange juice as an example. You're going to have a sugar spike. You're not going to have any fiber to slow it down,
Right.
and it's just not necessary.
Yeah, and a lot of the fruits, of course, apples not being even indigenous to the Americas, but when they were brought here, probably real good fruit, wild, Johnny Appleseed or whoever just threw the seeds out, and they grew wild. Very good. And when we start to make them a little bit different with all these different varieties, make them prettier, kind of like what we do with our pets. We change them and make them not the same animal. Now we have these little chihuahuas instead of the beautiful wolf. That's the way I kind of look at it. Nothing wrong with chihuahuas. I don't want to get some bad emails from people. Chihuahua.
You're just using that as an
I'm just using that as an example.
Manipulation, but maybe.
Right.
We do a little too much of that. Yeah. So let's go on. Sprouted grains, nuts, and seeds.
Yeah, and this is a particular area for me that sprouted is the key here, because we're taking a dead thing that's in stasis, homeostasis in a kind of a way. It's in storage mode. It's in storage mode, and you don't want to eat it in storage mode. You've got to release these things, and by grinding up, you're not releasing them, you're actually making it worse. So the best thing to do is let them sprout, let them ferment, and make them easier on the digestive system. This goes for the beans and the grains and all those things. So the
germination is actually the release of the life force essence.
Exactly.
So that's important. It's about proper handling of these things.
Yeah.
Organic, grass-fed meats and wild game and seafood, folks.
Huge.
Free-range poultry and eggs.
Wild caught fish.
We want to use those words, and we just keep sharing this because we want to make sure you don't get misled. But a lot of people are playing with these words. Yeah. If you're going to have dairy, make sure it's raw and pastured, grass-fed.
Right. And wish we could do that everywhere.
Yeah. So
we'll be right back, folks.
Transmission coming in.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back back, listeners. I'm Paige Clarke with Nico Haan. We're living a primal lifestyle here on TFNN.com. And, leave it up to Nico and I to go down the rabbit hole a little bit. And, like Alice wondered, we wander, and we find some cool stuff. From the Smithsonian magazine, smithsonianmag.com, the first truly breathable fabric, which contains living bacteria. There's nothing new derived from biology. I mean, we have clothes that are from living sources, leather, fur, wool, even silk is a breathable fabric, so to speak. But a garment that's actually alive, we haven't had that until now, but MIT Media Lab, researchers have incorporated living bacteria into a synthetic fabric.
I have a picture on this illustrator.
Maybe Al can put that up for us, creating a material that responds to the body moisture and hinting at a future of clothing that reacts to the person who's wearing it.
Yeah, and this is really cool, Paige, because I thought of you immediately when we talked about the type of bacteria that you're using. This bacteria is the same bacteria that's used to make the natto from the soybeans that you were always talking about.
Yeah, which is the great source of vitamin K2. So see, these microorganisms are a big part of making us who we are.
Yeah. In fact, I wear compression clothing for jiu-jitsu and for other types of activities, and they make them where they're thermal, keep you nice and warm, but they also make them to cool you. So if it's over like 75 degrees, I wear the cool one. If it's under 75 degrees, I wear the warm one. Same thing, nice compression, it keeps you protected a little bit more, helps you in recovery a little bit more. And these clothing are really cool.
That is really a pretty cool looking outfit there. I could see you wearing that at the gym for your training.
Well, with the holes in it, you couldn't do that. But
that is the way it is.
The gi,
the small flaps on the second skin fabric are made up of living bacteria that react to the moisture. So what you were just sharing, how this comes about. The bacteria in question is Bacillus subtilis natto. And it was actually discovered a millennium ago, 1,000 years ago, by a samurai. When he was fighting a battle, he left his steamed soybeans in their straw wrapping. And when he opened the container days later, he found that the beans had been fermented by the straw, becoming sticky and, to the Japanese palate at least, deliciously pungent. Ooh, I don't agree. Natto has been a delicacy in Japan ever since. We now know it's a fantastic health food.
Yeah, we have all these different types of foods from different nationalities. I know in Holland we have the real sour tasting stuff. We have the salted licorice that the Americans really don't like. Our palate is so different here. I still like it. I grew up on that stuff.
Salted licorice?
Salted licorice, yeah. Really, really good. Saltetrop, as they call it. Yeah. So it's different.
Licorice is very nourishing to the gut lining.
Yeah.
And then you've got salt, which is necessary for making hydrochloric acid, so I can see it.
Yeah. There's another thing that I saw, and this is from mindmaze.ch, and I saw this on a website or maybe a YouTube video or something, but it was really cool. And what they were doing, people who have lost ranges of motion or have had an accident or were paralyzed, they have a computer screen in front of them, and they have a simulation of their body in front of them. And what this does, and they're attached electronically through the brain from this, and when they make a gesture in their mind, so they can't move their arm, but they make the gesture of moving their arm in their brain, it shows up on the screen as their arm moving.
The intention.
The intention. And that starts to activate the actual muscle fibers to move because the brain is telling them that they are moving. And I was watching the experiments in this, and this really fascinated me. So technology is here really to help us in many, many different ways. In the clothing that we wear, in this type of, they call this a virtual reality gaming and motion capture software.
It really is. Technology it's a two-sided or two forks in the road. Boy, you're a busy guy this morning.
Yeah, I
People
should
calling
have
you
shut
early.
this off. I apologize for that and my unique tone there.
Yeah.
But yeah, these things can really help us, and I really like that. It involves head tracking. It involves integrated motion capture, head and finger tracking, augmented and virtual reality. And 3D cameras, revolutionary 3D cameras, onboard embedded systems, a wireless and multi-modal platform, full body motion capture. So there's a lot of things involved in this, and I found this kind of fascinating too.
Well, that is cool. Let's go to this article about how to get rid of nausea naturally.
Okay.
I've seen little people coming out of this end of the flu season, whether they got it or not, whether or not they had the flu shot. Geez, it's funny. I see a lot of people that did decide to do that.
And nausea is one of the first symptoms that you get of many, many different kinds of conditions that you may be in.
Sure. There's a lot of reasons why we're nauseated. It isn't pleasant, and it can be brought on by a number of factors, and they can be psychological, or they can be physical in origin, so it would be useful to know how you can get rid of nausea in a healthy way.
And nausea is actually a complex protective mechanism. The symptoms of nausea are influenced by messages that are sent to the brain because of a threat, such as an intestinal blockage, strong negative emotions, or a toxic buildup in your body.
Right, and so it creates the need or the desire or the push to purge.
Mm-hmm.
Get something out. I mean, the body's pretty beautiful, isn't it? It's like it wants more of
if we let it do its thing and don't interfere with it.
If we leave it alone, right. If, we get more of what we need and less of what we don't need, things can work along perfect. How can we get rid of it naturally?
Yeah, and the first number one is, and this is, my wife uses this a lot, is ginger. She loves ginger.
Love ginger. Yep. Use it a lot as an aromatherapist. A nice belly blend.
And it's a tradition that's gone back. I mean, this is thousands and thousands of years that people have been using ginger.
Well, the research on ginger is coming very powerful also in its protection from such things as cancer. There is some research for that. Mm-hmm. And you want to take you can use the essential oil in a belly rub, maybe a small drop here or there, but nothing better than buying some ginger root and steeping it and having what we call fire water. Not only does ginger help nausea, but it's an amazing pain reliever. And another way to get rid of it is vitamin B6. Why B6? I'm just going to give you a little tad bit because I know we want to finish this. B6 is really implicated in gallbladder function. Okay. And many people who don't have a healthy gallbladder end up having nausea because they're not digesting their fats. And B6 is a real important key for people. And again, we want a live version of B6. And then again, peppermint essential oil.
That makes sense.
Peppermint tea.
Yeah, well, my mother always got a headache or felt nauseous. She had the special Dutch aroma that she would actually put on a hanky and put on her forehead, and it would relieve both the headache and the nausea.
And peppermint really is powerful for the gastric lining and creating a cooling sense, and it actually helps to get the secretions going so that we make more serotonin.
And we have chamomile tea, which is also good for your digestive system. So that makes a lot of sense right there. We talked about that when we were talking about the digestion process and helping.
And the scent of a lemon. Lemon actually helps because I think, again, we see this cause of nausea is oftentimes related to the inability to get the gallbladder and liver working well, the digestion. Yeah. And I like the last one before we go on break, cannabis oil. Ingest it with an oral syringe by adding it to a liquid that marks its potency.
Yeah, and even smoking it, I've heard people tell that it helps nausea a lot too.
A lot of people that have had cancer and so forth are smoking cannabis to help with the nausea.
Yep.
But we're going to go for a break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Please pick up some Primal Edge, take a look at our Health Signals newsletter, and that'll give you just enough time to come back here. So please do that. Thanks. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. We have, when we go on the road and travel, there's certain things that you have to take. My wife and I have a little checklist that we use, and when we go up north to see the kids or take a little vacation type of thing, we usually take a bunch of things along. I found this one because it says 5 must-have accessories for healthy eating on the go. I thought we'd deconstruct it and see if we agree with these people.
I think this is a good point, because the more we can be in control of our food, the healthier we're going to be and the better choices we're going to make. But then again, we got to look at some of these things and what other toxins we might be exposed to.
The first one on the list, though.
It's like a meal cooler bag. I don't know if Al can put this up on the telestrator, but the meal cooler bag that we were looking at has a place for 6 individual meals. And first of all,
Al's kind of busy on the phone.
Yeah, we're not a big fan of the 6 meal a day, but maybe that's 3 meals and a snack. But what I know about those is they're of a plastic that I'm not sure is a safe plastic. So I certainly wouldn't want people to be heating up their food in that. Maybe you buy that compartment, you kind of sacrifice those plastic, and you get some other containers that are either glass or stainless or something.
Well, there's lots of different bags on the market. This is necessarily I don't agree with, but there's a lot of, you definitely need a nice bag to carry all your stuff in.
But see, again, what that does show is that you're prepared. You've got your water, you got your smoothie, and you got your foods. And we can accomplish a lot of goals when we eliminate the interference from frankenfoods that we might get when we're forced to eat in restaurants. And
my wife and I usually take a little small refrigerator. I bought it years ago. It was like $100.
Oh, nice.
And you plug it into your lighter or whatever, and it keeps it at like about 35, 36 degrees. So you can take some perishables along, which is very handy.
Yeah. These reusable snack attack containers are convenient for packing carrots or celeries or dips, and they're kind of a good thing to do too. Again, if you're prepared, they're kind of cute too, It makes it kind of fun. Look at that, little dips and shaped
great
like...
if you have kids, I guess. I don't see it myself.
But the other thing about having these containers, folks, is it does kind of help you become aware and conscious of your portion.
Yeah, and it helps if you're traveling. Definitely, you can pull the car over and eat in the car if you wanted to. Don't suggest eating while driving.
This is a great statistic. Bigger plates can result in servings of 9 to 31% more, which means extra calories.
We've seen how the plates have grown. I mean, if you look at if you have some of your grandmother's large plates, They're smaller than our small
Oh,
plates.
they certainly are. They almost look like salad plates.
They do.
They're kind of a contrast between a salad plate. Yes, true.
So a smaller plate is better for you. Psychologically, it's going to keep you from overeating, especially if you're eating carbohydrates that are kind of pulling you in there.
The key thing is a lot of these things are made out of plastic, folks. And again, we want to look and make sure they're BPA free and that they're phthalate free.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a brown bag either, or even Ziplocs.
Wax paper, I buy these little brown bags and just wrap it up and put some tape on it.
I think those are
and
good
then
ideas.
And then those things are ready to enter the garbage disposal.
Yeah, and the last thing I kind of like here, if you're going to be on the go and you're going to use some water, you can infuse that water.
Infuse it with the vegetable or the fruit. Yes, I'm a big fan of that, infused drinks, because then, that's a great way to help people who are used to drinking sugary drinks, flavored drinks, and maybe they're trying to increase their water content. And, the silica and so forth, and cucumber. I love that picture of the cucumber drinking water. So you can get these things. This particular one was available from a website called Uncommon Goods. I like that site. Nice place to shop.
Yeah. Now, I ran across an article a little while ago. It said this herb boosts your heart, gut, and liver health and may fight cancer and diabetes. So I started looking at it. It's called the barberry, which I really am not familiar with.
Yeah, so what would you think if we told you there was an herb that could boost the heart health, cleanse your gut and liver, and perhaps even prevent diabetes and cancer? Of course, we'd be interested in knowing a little bit about that. It's berberine, and it's contained in a plant that's been used for over 2,500 years
So it's not
for its
barberry?
medicinal properties.
Not
Barberry and golden seal are often used for similar medicinal purposes because of their berberine content. Berberine is the active ingredient.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yes.
Hence, that's how it gets its name, I guess.
So why is berberine important? It's been shown to inhibit the growth of bacteria in test tubes and actually helps the immune system to function better.
Yeah, they mentioned another one here called golden seal.
Well, golden seal, yes. So what the article is saying is that barberry and golden seal are high in berberine.
Okay. Very cool.
And, the barberry extract has beneficial effects on both the cardiovascular system and the neural system.
Very cool.
And, they can be included in the treatments of hypertension, people that are trying to resolve these issues. And these studies have shown that this antioxidant-rich barberry can even help prevent different kinds of cancer.
And it aids the GI tract, prevents and treats diabetes. This is pretty interesting.
Well, again, what we know is that foods have light. And when the light is allowed to activate, these lights communicate with by way of their different chemical constituents. And it's not that we don't have a Lipitor deficiency, that's a chemical thing. We don't really have a deficiency of, say, the barberry, but our body may need information that's in the barberry.
I see.
And that information may be crucial in correcting a software glitch in us, right?
Yeah, that's a
the way I
good way
like
of
to think
putting
of
it. Yeah. So it improves your heart health also. The articular fibrillation is an irregular, often rapid heart rate, and that commonly causes poor blood flow. Alternative medicines, including yoga, acupuncture, biofeedback, and supplementation with herbs like barberry, have been shown very effective at treating this articular fibrillation. So that's important.
Yeah, and it combats metabolic syndrome, which I really call the four-legged stool. Remember we talked about that last week?
Yes.
Metabolic syndrome means the body is in metabolic disorder. And it's usually high triglycerides, elevated cholesterol, inappropriate insulin glucose levels.
Your body's getting overloaded with toxins. Your body's not able to do its regular maintenance.
Deal with its fuel, correct.
It's fighting the fires instead of doing its normal maintenance. And when we're fighting fire, it also raises our stress levels. So it's just a compounding that happens in our body that makes us sick, and slowly but surely, by the time you reach your 50s or 60s, you're not going to be very well just because of the lack of nutrition and lack of some of these things
Lack
that you
of the
get in
right
natural
information.
foods.
The body needs, I like to use the word, it's the body is not looking for nutrition per se, it's looking for the information contained in the nutrition.
Right.
Because the body is the one that does it. It's not the nutrition that does the body does the work by getting the raw materials.
Yeah.
Reading the stuff.
So this helps cleanse the liver and the gallbladder.
Well, so people want to know, how do you use barberry? Well, barberry is available in capsules, fluid extracts, tinctures, or as a topical ointment. And the dried roots can be used in a tea, and it should be used, of course, under the care of a practitioner or knowledgeable herbalist. And but it's great to learn more about what nature has to offer in Nature's Pharmacy. Nature is its own pharmacy with an F.
Yeah, and where barberry comes from, there's in almost 500 species of thorny, evergreens, or deciduous shrubs. A lot of them grow in Europe and North Africa, Middle East, and Central Asia. Some species are the Oregon grape. That's a member of the barberry family. So pretty cool. It's also a rich source of vitamin C.
And you'll see Oregon grape in a lot of traditional naturopathic type herbal remedies.
Very cool. Folks, please pick up our Health Signals newsletter.
You can use.
Yes, I have a new one coming out next week, the last one of the month. And take a look at our Primal Edge. One of the reasons that Paige and I came up with the Primal Edge, Paige actually did all the grunt work on this. We're doing all the research and getting the chemists to do this. But what you need to do is pick some up and try it and see if you like it. I think you will. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
And welcome back. I'm going to read you a theoretical headline. A disappointing monsoon season shrinks wheat harvest in India and China in the spring. Months later, a severe drought wipes out soybean and maize in North America at the same time that a record-setting heat wave shrivels wheat in Europe. You know, this is kind of like taking a look at what is a food shock. And although that is just a theoretical headline, this is a worst case scenario for how extreme weather can disrupt our global food system, because we are a global society today.
Yeah.
And this was said by Tim Benton of the United Kingdom's Global Food Security Program.
Yeah.
And he was in an annual meeting, but he goes, we don't know for sure that this will happen, but these are the sort of things that might happen.
Well, we certainly are seeing different weather in the United States, also all around the world, if you look at the weather.
And
all
to
around the
interject,
world.
we're not necessarily saying global warming, global cooling. That's a little
I'm leaning to the cooling side, but whichever, it doesn't really make any difference. There's going to be disruptions.
There's going to be change and disruption.
Because we have these designated areas that we call our breadbaskets regions, and China has them. And if you look at the past, I have one blogger that I follow that he denotes all the Ming dynasties, all the different dynasties in China are all tied to grand minimums of the solar, and when they fell, it happened because of that. So,
to tie that
the
in,
Chinese have a long history of tracking these types of events. And so you see China right now deeply embedded in Africa, building roads, building railroad tracks that go nowhere.
Wow.
But the consensus is what they're doing is they're building up their resources in a great area of growing, where there is none. Right now, mostly it's wild. Not a lot of growing going on in Africa, not like in America, not in like China, which has been growing things for years.
Well, Africa's a resource-rich country.
Really, so they're going in there and getting all these roads and everything ready. You see also China doing a lot of this building that they say is useless. These empty buildings are standing, empty towns. Are they maybe preparing these buildings for when people actually need to have these shelters because of the areas that they're living in now may be disrupted because of weather, droughts, monsoons, or whatever?
It's very smart to pay attention. What I was interjecting there is for people that don't know, when you mentioned the Chinese are noticing these changes when there's a solar minimum.
A grand minimum.
A grand minimum.
Which happens about every 400 years.
Right, and that's kind of where we're heading.
Yeah,
you've been telling us that from Ben Davidson's work.
And this is from Ben Davidson, Suspicious Observer, Adapt 2030. There's a lot of websites out there that these people are investigating this. It's kind of off the mainstream, but even the mainstream is pushing for some type of climate change and being prepared. So it doesn't really matter if you're preparing for warm. We really don't know. But we all have our suspicions, and I rather look to the sun for my information, and that's why Suspicious Observers is a really good site to go to. Thunderbolts Project, another good site. And from there, this can lead you into many things of discovering on your own what may be happening. For me, it's very interesting. I've been in this game very early. I saw these guys 10 years ago putting up this information, and I've gone along with it, and it makes a lot more sense to me than the global warming thing. But who knows? You know, I heard the speech that for the Academy Awards that the guy who won the Oscar, Leo. So he was saying, you know, he had to go down to South America, the very tip of South America, to shoot snow. Well, maybe you should visit some of my relatives in Ontario, because in parts of Ontario, they got feet and feet of snow. In fact, my daughter was texting the other day saying, I can't get out of my driveway because there's so much snow. So, you know.
Well, people are using climate change, whether it's a global cooling or a global warming, to their agendas.
Yes, no doubt about that.
But what we have to do is we have to pay attention, and that's what our show is all about. Living a primal lifestyle is about doing the most important things. And the most important thing is that you decide for yourself.
And be prepared. Prepare yourself for something going on, because sooner or later it's going to definitely hit.
And we're here to help you.
Yep,
live
we'll
longer, stronger, healthier, wealthier.
Thanks for sticking around, folks.
Okay.
See you next week.
See you.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his Opening Call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the Opening Call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.